The Aegean Sea. An immense fleet cleaves the waves. A fleet the like of which no one has ever seen before, neither mortals nor gods. It carries the largest army ever assembled, the army of the Greeks. The most formidable warriors have been brought together, as well as the kings of all Greece. Achilles, Ulysses, Agamemnon, Menelaus, and even old Nestor. Shields glitter in the dazzling sunlight. Already we hear the terrible rumble of battle. This formidable army is heading towards Troy, the city with the high walls. Troy, the city of King Priam, defended by his two sons, Hector and Paris. Paris, the one who made everything happen. The voice of Zeus makes Olympus tremble. It echoes through the palace of the gods, terrible, deafening. Zeus demands to know who is responsible for this conflagration. Zeus is the god of the gods. He commands everyone, those who are and those who were. Long ago, at the end of a terrible battle that lasted for years, he wiped out the rebellious gods. And all those who thought themselves more cunning than him are now locked up in Tartarus, the deepest region of the underworld. What he desires more than anything is peace. Amongst men, as amongst the gods. Zeus summons all the gods of Olympus. There are 12 of them. Poseidon, his older brother, rules the seas and the oceans. His son Apollo is the god of light. His daughter, Athena, is the goddess of cunning and reason. His other sons, Ares and Hermes, are respectively the god of war and god of travelers. Aphrodite, born of sea foam and the sky, is the goddess of love and voluptuousness. All have sworn allegiance to Zeus. All fear his anger. All challenge his power. Zeus is furious. He wields the Aegis, the fearsome weapon that unleashes thunder and lightning that terrify mortals and immortals. He scrutinizes each god. He wants to know who is behind the inevitable chaos that is about to descend upon the world. But everyone remains silent and lowers their eyes. Suddenly, Hera, Zeus's wife, points to Aphrodite. It's her. She is the cause of the unfolding drama. She alone. The other goddesses, who have never been very keen on Aphrodite, confirm it. They have always hated this goddess who sows the seeds of infidelity everywhere, robs some of them of love, makes others mad with passion. And they envy her too perfect form. In the past, Aphrodite had caused a scandal on Olympus. She had seduced Ares, the god of war. Under the nose and beard of her legitimate husband, Hephaestus. Caught in a trap, she had been banished from Olympus and had vowed that one day she would take revenge for this affront. Yes, Aphrodite started this war. It all begins sometime earlier, when Paris, the son of the king of Troy, leads one of his many flocks to the pastures of Mount Ida. That day, 3 women come to meet him. All 3 of them are breathtakingly beautiful. But which of them is the fairest? That is the question they put to young Paris. They tell him to choose. Paris is captivated, but above all, disconcerted. He confesses himself incapable of deciding. What he doesn't know is that these 3 women are the goddesses, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. And that the day before, when the gods had come together to feast, Eris, the goddess of discord, whom no one had invited, had burst in and tossed onto the table an apple. A golden apple. Upon this apple, there was a curious inscription: for the fairest. All eyes had naturally turned to Aphrodite, because no one imagined competing with the stunning beauty of the goddess of love. Aphrodite was about to get up when 2 other goddesses stood up to seize the apple. Hera, sister and wife of the king of the gods, of a cold but dazzling beauty. And Athena, daughter of Zeus, of a violent but sparkling beauty. Aphrodite, Hera, Athena. Which of the 3 goddesses would be declared the fairest? The opinion of the ruler of Olympus is sought. Is Zeus not a connoisseur, whose conquests are too many to number? The list is long of those who have succumbed to his charms or his spells. But Zeus refuses to arbitrate. He knows of the rebellious temperament and reciprocal hatred of the three goddesses. He wants to be cautious, refuses to take sides. He decides that the choice must rest with someone who is completely impartial. Why not a mortal? He therefore chooses the one thought to be the most idealistic and purest of heart. Paris, son of Priam and Hecuba, Prince of Troy. The golden apple, which has become the apple of discord for the gods, will be placed in the innocent hand of a mere mortal. Hera looks Paris up and down and speaks thus. Paris, if you say that I am the fairest, I will give you a kingdom like no mortal has ever possessed, and over which you will reign as sole ruler. You will be the greatest king that the earth has seen. Paris, delighted, is about to name Hera, but Athena immediately intervenes. Paris, if you say that I am the fairest, I will make you forever invincible in combat. No sword will wound you, no javelin will pierce you. Your enemies will dread your name, and victory will always be yours. You will become the greatest hero that the earth has seen. Won over, Paris is about to name Athena when Aphrodite, with a cajoling voice, says to him, Paris, if you say that I am the fairest, then I will offer you the hand of the most beautiful woman the world has ever seen. You will be the greatest lover that the earth has borne. Paris, without hesitation, gives the apple to Aphrodite. Aphrodite unties her belt. It is a belt with magical powers that makes anyone who wears it irresistible. She gives it to Paris. Sometime later, King Priam sends his son Paris on a mission to the king of Sparta, the mighty Menelaus. Paris goes to sea and arrives in the Greek city. But a shadow is following him, that of Aphrodite. In Sparta, Menelaus welcomes Paris with the warmth and respect due to a prince. He invites him to dine at his table, serves him the most exquisite dishes, washed down with the best wines of Greece. His wife is at his side. Her name is Helen, Helen of Sparta. she is the most beautiful of all mortal creatures upon the earth. She is also the most coveted. Princes from all around had asked for her hand in marriage. Her father, Tyndareus, offered it to Menelaus, making her other suitors swear to come to the aid of Helen and her husband, whatever befell them. Menelaus announces that he must leave Sparta for a few days. So he doesn't see. He doesn't notice the burning glances exchanged between Helen and Paris. The magic belt given to him by Aphrodite does its work admirably. On the very evening of Menelaus' departure, Paris implores Helen to leave everything and follow him home to Troy and become his wife. Helen offers no resistance. She is bewitched, and so is Paris. In their recklessness, abandoning themselves to their passion, the two lovers do not imagine for a moment the terrible consequences that will arise from their union. When he returns, Menelaus looks for his wife. He searches every room, every inch of the garden, the courtyards of his palace. In vain. He questions the servants. He threatens. Nobody dares to tell him the truth. It's an old maid who finally confesses that the beautiful Helen has run away with this young prince whom they had so kindly received. The king of Sparta gives free rein to his anger. Such an affront cannot go unpunished. Menelaus leaves immediately for Mycenae. There reigns the most respected king of all Greece, Agamemnon, his brother, the king of kings. Agamemnon has succeeded in subjugating by force or cunning all the Grecian cities. All of them pay him allegiance and tribute. All except one. Menelaus pleads his case with his brother. He has been humiliated by the Trojan. He demands redress. He begs him to raise an army, go to war against Paris, and bring back Helen. Agamemnon listens carefully to Menelaus, but he hesitates. Certainly his brother has been offended, but he is also a prince who must surely be weak if he has not been able to retain his wife. He is the laughingstock of all the other Grecian princes. An outrage has been committed, of course. But Troy is powerful. It is said to be the richest, the most opulent city on earth. It controls the passage leading to the east and its fabulous wealth. The temptation to seize it is great, but its ramparts are inviolable. It is said that they were built by the gods Apollo and Poseidon themselves, and that no one can breach them. A simple diplomatic mission to Troy to claim compensation and bring back Helen should be enough to settle the matter. The King of Kings nods. It's getting late. he will think. Zeus had listened attentively to Hera, who had just condemned Aphrodite, claiming that her spells alone were responsible for the war. But he only half believes it. He knows Agamemnon. He is a wise king. Yes, a simple diplomatic mission to King Priam would have been enough to avoid this war. Are they going to send thousands of men on thousands of ships for the sole purpose of avenging a deceived husband? For a single woman, even if she is the most beautiful? Zeus looks at Hera and Athena with growing suspicion. Aphrodite has no doubt used her spells to win the golden apple. But Hera and Athena must still be furious at the affront, the humiliation of not being chosen by the young prince. How could they have influenced Agamemnon and convinced him to go to war? Night has fallen on Agamemnon's palace. Invisible to mortal eyes, Hera addresses Athena. Will we allow a mortal to humiliate goddesses? Will we allow Aphrodite to mock us this way? Athena is seething with rage. She too wants to avenge this affront, to take revenge on the man who committed it. And the god who did nothing to prevent it, Zeus, adds Hera. We will stir up a deadly hatred between the Greeks and the Trojans until Paris dies a terrible death, decide the two goddesses. Athena leans towards Agamemnon. She murmurs in his ear. Think of Troy, Agamemnon, the only city that is resisting you, the only city that is challenging you. Without Troy, the empire you have created is pitiful. Listen to me, Agamemnon. I am the messenger of Zeus. He orders you to call all Greeks to arms. The time has come to seize the vast city of the Trojans. Its conquest will be the climax of your glory. The gods of Olympus are now agreed on this point. All have let themselves be swayed by Hera's entreaty to take Troy and destroy every wall. In that way, you will go down in history. At dawn, the king of Mycenae has made his decision. The insult to Menelaus is an insult to Greece, he says. They have to avenge this outrage without delay. They must gather an army, the most powerful of all armies. It will cross the seas and annihilate Troy in order to return Helen to her legitimate husband. One after the other, the kings of all Greece answer their suzerain's call. They come from every city. All are ready to fight. All except two of them. Two men whose fate, however, will change this story. Achilles and Ulysses.